So we've got a lovely warrior pose again. It's very good, like what we've been doing. Some of the helps, little things that have changed. So you're going to, or added on little option, little crazy things you can do. So we're just going to start. Try and have your legs in a prism shape with your hips floating at the top and those feet forward facing for a second while we just. Okay, so we're thinking today just again about your body, that it's going to be since you thought about it last. Just think about yourself and your breath, just being here and now. Even when you're in this position, you can still think about your crown being lengthened, put your tailbone back a bit far, set back, that's fine. And you might notice that you have to turn on your core because you're like in this tight rolling position, and that's what it's designed to do. And also you might notice a stretch in the back calf, which is lovely. Again, that's intentional. And if you notice anything else, then that's brilliant as well. So breathe. And on your exhale, again, usual thing, secure your core to move. You're literally just going to take the weight, a little bit more weight, that leg in the back heel, and turn your toe out. So now you should feel a little bit more, less dependent on your core, but you're nice and stretched. So what we're going to do is into the face. We all in the same way. We're doing the same way. So my left leg is forward facing, but we're that stretch again. Because otherwise I might get confused which side we're on. So if you face your left leg and just bend that knee times, and you just want your knee to hover some way above your foot. So just avoid tippling too far. You can stretch quite far actually, just take your foot further. If your knee is tipping over the toe there, definitely just put it in all right. And then we're going to just straight forward facing, put the arms up. Just notice the shape of your body. It comes nicely into extend the spine, maybe just back over that kilt with the hips, it's okay. Just maybe, oh, tell you the other thing. Try, if you notice going into the back foot laid, just try and have your feet planted like a stubborn one. So you don't roll into your arch. Just try and keep the weight in your body rather than on the sides of the feet. Now I'm going to stay, bend your front leg, arms up, and then as you straighten that leg, bring your arms down and swivel towards your foot. It'll be a natural place you want to turn away, and then just do a couple more of those. Well done. Then just feel the air come in and out, and then keep your front leg bent, even when we then rotate here. Feel like a child when you're going to do a cartwheel. Do one if you want, why not? We kind of do forever when you just do cartwheels forever. And then, as if you're doing a cartwheel, down to the front foot. So you'll want that front knee bend probably for a bit, you just feel your way down. Again, notice the stretch. There should be no impingement. If there is, just maybe prop your elbow with your knee or something. Before you get lower with your hand, why don't you try straightening that front knee and bend it again. Keep breathing. And then with it bent, let's just challenge ourselves to look at the top fingertips. Do you know, sometimes I get a bit numb in the hand there when I do this, but you know, not always. Notice that you stretch, how it feels, breathe into it, and then I suggest you take your gaze back to your feet. maybe put your hand inside that foot. Remember, you've got your fingers that you can go up on as you straighten that front knee. You might want to put your hand back up, see how it feels. Both is nice. There. Now, so you can get your palm on the floor. Oh, I love it. Doing really well. Bend your knee. And then secure your core. You literally feel your way back up. But we then take the right hand from at the same time. Down the right leg. Oh, breathe into a new stretch. New chest. Big extenders, side planks. Try it with your knee, bend up straight and fill up the line. Okay. Suggest you breathe in, prepare, secure your core. Then do your front leg bend to come back up. Because you've kind of gone into that back a little bit, into extension, you get a bit stiff. So, a little trick, but you might not want to do it. You swivel your feet on the way around, you don't have to move, but now you might not be facing the way you want to. So either do that or right leg now forwards. Both feet forward facing. Some of you may have already done. It's swap stretch initially. Okay, breathe. It's really hard this. Turn both feet so the forward facing so that you're not cheating. That's it, yeah. Good. There it's harder, isn't it? You'll be able to turn it out in a minute. It's just involves your core to go up. Again, like when the kids tend to walk tightly. Breathe. Forward. Draw in, first up your pelvic floor, draw your belly towards your spine. And hopefully that's gone off a little bit, that stretching your back calf. Don't twist your ankles, but take the weight into your back, your left heel now, and turn that way. There, and now you've got the front. Okay, so we're ready to bend that knee, that front knee. Just get used to the shapes, the form, trying to keep the knee not from going all over the place, not like a rugby player. So just making sure your knee hovers that foot, and then when you've got it, you can bring your arms up here. And I'd like to notice what everybody feels. Now, it's good practice to breathe in on the up, and exhale here. And although this is easy, when we start to load there, you get the benefit of getting into the habit of breath here, exhale here. So keep your front knee bent, but then swivel to the side and then extend. Bend it back down, swivel to the front again to load that right knee, extend. Yeah, it's just lovely. It's going to do everything, all the limbs, all the joints mobile.
Reminds me of ballets.
Of what?
Or ballet.
Oh yeah, but it looks like that was nice. Actually, really. Someone came in late the other day, they're like, oh, amazing. Okay, we're ready to tickle down. So, facing your left foot now, you bend your right knee and tickle down to the right. You can use your leg to anchor yourself. Okay. Enjoy this shape, but you know, feel grateful to your body for allowing you to get into sleeping pose. Challenge yourself, put your fingertips there, breath. And then think about keeping your arm there, taking your gaze to your feet again to just lengthen that front leg. Squeeze it straight and bend straight. I hope you're all right in your back. It's a really strong, peculiar, required shape for your back. And then, with your knee bent, try and bring your hand to your inner foot and try and stretch straight again. Then fingertips, you might want to recruit those on the floor as you straighten. You might want to bring your palm on. You be in control of the intensity of the stretch, and then have a couple of breaths when you found how intense you want to go. Enjoy this. Sometimes it's just nice to feel alive in your limbs, your sinews. And then I suggest you bend your leg to secure your core on that exhale to move yourself. Hope this is a bit easier than you know. Really feel that you stretch in your core. Breath. On the exhale, secure everything, just help back nice and safely. I can do that for now. But we'll get the last squat, we've got to do after one. Are you all right there?
Yeah.
So, just 5 squats, unless you want to do more, it's the same sequence, getting into squats. Straight back. Good. Power into your heels, which are, you know, underneath your knees. You can add the band on. It's a bit hard to do the band as you progress up this one. Hold something. Just checking your knees and, you know, evaluate yourself. If your knees better, stronger, keep it slow. And then when you're ready, you can go into your bigger gate. Remember the forms the same. Let's do 5 or 6 to the right, or yeah, let's move to the right. Avoid a hip drop, square your hips. Have your feet at the head of the feet there, sitting behind your knee, not too over. Okay? Maybe hinge a little bit deeper in the stretch. Find it hard to use the band. The breath is nicely. Just reach forwards. Excellent. Breath up. Should we do the other side? So I give numbers as a guide, but you decide how many stay for you today, this week. Exhale, going down, breathing into come up. That's it. I'm looking at you not turning into your hip. Keep your hips square with that ball of that front femur literally sitting behind your knee. That's it. And if you're stretching in that inner thigh, remember, you imagine the legs not there. That'll take that stretch right away. Okay, so progress with a side lunge, slide. I will do it on the floor if you can, because the mat's sticky. So again, maybe stay upright for a minute. A little bit even more intense in this leg. So give it a little bit of a warm before you go deep into the fold here at the top of the leg. Exhale, breath. Just a little bit more consistency down now. Good. Breathe. Evaluate yourself. You can see how much easier it is after doing it these weeks compared to the other way. So I'll swap you do 6 or 7, I think, on this side, like a bit of you want to do. Breath. I'd like you to notice which muscles are coming into play. Stay upright, you really isolate it a little bit more in the knee. If you go forward, you really take it into the hip, those glutes. Breath. And then choose the short squats. A bit addicted to these. I told you guys, these are great. You can wobble into your arch medially. Raised arches and brilliant. You just help with the stability of it. Just taking your toe, just the free toe minute distance away from the floor. Again, notice how hard this is for your knee stability now. Count how many you want to do on each side. Notice if one knee is stronger than the other. Very hard. Breath. Slow to catch every tissue, sinew. Try not to rush and skip over them. Ooh. Make sure you can take really nicely each side. And come into this proposal to the first. Okay, so you're going to need your back and this. I'm going to give you a couple of options for this, which you don't have to take when I'm doing it. So my left knee is up. Remember, you can do this leaning on the left cheek. Taking the leg behind and just reaching forward. Okay, this is option 1. Now, usually, if you lift up your leg, you use the right hand to pick up your right foot. But if you try it the other way, it's a little bit different. Kind of gets so left hand to right foot. It's just a bit deeper. Okay. Now I'm going to show you this. In yoga, like you see people can do that and literally grab a foot, don't know how you do it, but this is how we practice. Get in there. I think it's the extended spine, no, almost double back. So to practice, you get a band around that back ankle. So we usually literally catch the foot there. Whereas to do this one, do that like a sack of potatoes. Right, just be careful. If you go, just leave it, flex the foot, and pull it up. Now, we're very different shapes now. You're extended in your spine, and you can walk your hands down, and you still get an automatic stretch your back, quad. Imagine being able to sort of bulk it back. So I'm sure it's really fragile. Breathe. Definitely get a tighter quad. Breathe. Carry on. So definitely go into extension. But it's actually got a little bit as well. Lovely. Okay. trying to stop. Release. That's right, yeah. Go to the side. I'll show you again. So let's do the other side. We're going to have a bit of stretch there, it's okay. So we're going into this other, literally do what we always do. Or even taking the opposite hand foot, just pulls it in a bit more. But if you want to have a go, so you get your band, run it round there. Okay, so as if you've got a bag of potatoes here, a sack of potatoes. Hold it there, and then as if you're holding the potato onto your back like this. It makes you extend your back, which is all right, once you know your back. Really can't do it, use your toes. Dig your scapula, deep into your back. Lift your legs. You can lift your head. You can walk down there. You can think this is just ridiculous and fish. Put your brains in. Have fun, well done. If you can do this in 6 months to show that it touch your toe. Insect, sling, my kids go sling. That's good thing. Release, right, secure your core, release, just don't twist anything. There, that's fun. Okay, we're going to come into our eye position. So we're going to maintain the eye position just for a minute while we get our imaginary cuboid full of something heavy. We just like liquid, because liquid's good because you don't want to smash it around, so it helps you stay really steady. So in the eye position to warm up the spine. So you're imagining your spine is a drill bit, a giant masonry drill bit, because I don't want it to bend yet. So it literally rotates here. Just stay upright for a sec before you put the box down. Breath to the centre. Exhale on the twist. You can put it down now if you want. Don't have to. Breath. Exhale. So try to stay upright. Hold on. Okay, so option to go into your C curve. So you can still hold the box with that little tautness. Little chin to chest, little flick under the tailbone. And you can always do as you like onto your C curve. Now you don't have to twist here. Worried about your back, you can come back up and then rotate. But if you want to, because you're weight bearing, aren't you? And now I'm going to suggest you twist, but you don't have to. Okay, try each way. Beautiful. Maybe do one more. Breath. Good. Then come up. And then I suggest you do 6 on each side, but you choose your number to stay equal on each side. To make it harder, you'd stay on the same side, or maybe do 2 at a time, or 3 and 1 with return. I'll try and do a full blown 6. It's just a bit harder using those same tools, you see. You're not giving them a break, switching over to the side. Loads of options. Lift your pelvic floor. It's a challenge to keep breathing while you're in this crunch. It's lovely to see all of your knees haven't caved in, and your feet are in line with your sitting bones. I'm going to the other side now. So this would be exhale, twisting, breath into the centre. Well done. Yeah. Beautiful. Exhale. And then breathe. Back to side position. Is forward. Heavens. Okay. So you're ready to stretch it then. So you can literally just do whatever alleviates the hip flexors for you. Maybe just do this. Or going one leg side to side. That's it, yeah, with your legs. And then I'm going to go through the options for the next thing. So you can literally lean on your hands, that's a good option. But just a general progression is to take your hands here. Remember when we did it on our back, doing that, but it's going to be in your eye and C curve. So initially, you literally just stay upright like this. Eye position, extending your leg, and it's just a little warm up for you because there's no weight on them. So it's just a nice mobilization for you. So a couple just heel slides basically. And then a progression would be literally just to do it tracking the floor. And then you get it in your hip flexors again. Try and get it more in your core. If you hold your core more, I think it's just more of a distraction from your hip flexors. And then you can do either of those in your C curve, going back up into your eye position. Just watch your ribs go and come up with the loads of extended spine now. Let's practice eye position. Okay. And then harder again is if you go into tabletop. And then just do a couple of each option or whichever one you want to stay with on each side. Oof. Well done. Yeah, that's good as well. And then if you want to add the oblique on, the oblique goes. You can do it at any point. You can literally do it there. You don't have to hang the whole of your legs. But you go into the oblique when you're up. And then extend. So you can basically, you're extended at whatever level you like. The harder one is tabletop. And then, ooh, I've done that wrong, whoops. Up into the corner and then extend there. Maybe do a couple on each side. Excellent. And then rest and just let your body sink it in. And then we'll try 6 on each side. Yeah, and remember this lovely option, if you like that. But go with that. If your fingers are pointing to your body, you get a nice flexion in your hand as well. You don't have to do that. Take your heel of your hand up. So will these turn up? We're only going to do another up to 6. Well, you choose your number, just make sure you do the same on each side. Breath here. So it's just to remind you that when you go in to the oblique, you're not just taking your elbow in. Okay. You've got to try and maneuver your core round. Whoops. There. So it's going into the waist. It's not just a not of the elbow or the top part of the body. Try and rotate from the waist and then extend there. So again, it's that actually keeping the elbow in the corner of your eye rather than just knocking it like a racket. 3 on this side, 2, 1, and then swap, rest, up, in, extend. So you know at the beginning of the class when I said you don't really feel the benefit of breathing in on the extension, exhaling on the crunch when we're doing those nice flows. But now breathe in while you're on, exhale there. If you get used to that, then it's just good form, good practice. Rest. It has to be nice, kind voices. Okay, you're only accountable for you and your actions, and I can guarantee that you're doing your very best, and that's brilliant. So, going to get on all fours now and do our pelvic stability. So, because I keep forgetting to do this at the end, we'll do it now while I'm remembering, and at least they've had a go. Because what I want to do is mobilise your hip, just going into that dog weave position. So you're making a circle with your knee around your hip. Just notice if you can get smaller. With this one, we tend to start bigger. So you can go smaller and then reverse. And it's quite nice to reverse smaller to bigger. And then the other side, don't forget it in that supporting breath. Thing. And then don't worry, you're completely out of neutral here. But just have a general awareness, try and have some stretch to the shoulders. So I'm just making that circle smaller, and then I'm going to reverse it and go smaller to bigger. Great. Well done. You can do banana, but just look at your bum. Squinty bum. Maybe do some pelvic tilts. Oh, notice the shape. Now we're going to do our pelvic stability. So you want to be neutral, pelvic, neutral spine. So just roll your coccyx under a tidge if you feel like you ditch your ribs. So and sink your spine into your shoulder blades. It's a bit of there. Okay, I want you to stay there. So baking tray back. Okay, and then I like you to do each plane of movement. So right arm on the floor. But even if you just do one, okay, look at my shoulders, like they're not like this, the level. So you've got a spirit level across the back of your shoulders, and then try your left leg, and it's not this, it's level. And you can actually see your hips underneath yourself. I obviously look at the globes of your bum, see if any one of them is dipped or gone higher, but you can check if your hips are sunk, and then try both quadrants alternate quadrant, which is your right hand, left leg. And then you're ready to build up. And I want you to know what muscles come into play with the different heights of your limbs. It's so subtle, but as the degree of height changing, which, you know, the ankle in your joint, different muscles will come into play. And that's why I want you to try and not skip a level, so that all those muscles have a chance. Yeah, lovely. Take it slow. Then level up. You'll notice as you get higher, obviously your glutes take over the muscles in the back. And as you get higher, just notice the rib cage shouldn't dip, the back shouldn't drop, just stay nice and strong there. And replacing the limbs back centrally, knees under hips. Brilliant. Really watching how carefully self-correcting and nudging your hip down, taking it really slow so your body can revise the shape. Lovely. And you gaze down to the floor. And then just decide what level you want to breathe a few breaths in. Just double check you've got a kink in your elbow. That knobbly bit going to the side, not the back. So that it's your muscles, not your joints, taking the strain. And then 2 or 3 on the other side, breaths, holding. Excellent. And it's time to, when you've done the same on each side, to do a reverse cobra, or you're literally just getting on the floor. So these lovely capital E shapes. Oh, I tried this on the wall. So if you like it and feel like it's something that you can benefit from, you can do it. I think I did it with my back to the wall and took a tiny step forward and do that. So it's the same as doing that, but you don't have to get on the floor. Okay, so that's the middle, the capital E. Breathe. You can just rest your chin and your forehead on the floor and just take your the whole unit, fingertips, palm, wrist, elbow, in line with your shoulder, off the floor. Feel your spine sink beneath your scapula. Then the other side. Oh, remember your form as you're doing it. So hips are into the mat, pubic bones into the mat, belly button is away from the mat as much as you possibly can, and your bum is super, super soft. And then both together, if you've not done that already. So it's not the same facing the wall and picking your arms up. If you want to try it at home, have your back up against the wall, keep your arms on the wall and just take a mini step forward. I guess try not to overextend your back. You're going to have to a little bit though. And then when you've had enough of that one, you can try bringing your fingers into a diamond shape. Just bringing your head to the floor. And then, without pressing your hands into the floor, so you have to use your core, just bring your face. Keep your hands on the floor for a second, just bring your face. Forehead level with the chin, away from the floor, and then back again. So it's breathing in to come off. Exhale, lower. Think about what you're readdressing. Yeah. we spend all day slumped over in this kyphosis position, so you're just addressing that. But try not to stick your ribs out though, just isolate it in the thoracic top part of your body. And then, so find your form again, belly button off, hips low into the mat, pubic bone into the mat, soft bottom, and bring everything up. Now be real gentle with your back. You're going to feel it down in the lower flanks of your back, but I want you to double check tailbone's curved under, so you're thinking length in the spine rather than a jarring in your lower back. You need to be really kind to the lower back. Try not to have your bone engaged yet. Do you know what I mean? It's that engagement with surety, not jarring. If you do it really slow, you can really feel what muscles are having to be engaged, recruited. Okay, do a couple of pelvic tilts, and then take your palms to your thighs there. Thumb into the floor and little finger towards the ceiling. And again, practice length, crown away from your coccyx and away from your toes. All right, you're going to just lift up your left, lead with your left little finger, bring it up. And then lower. Try and have your arms straight but not too overextended. Do 2 or 3. And then the other side, 2 or 3. Watch your form, everything should be level with your core. And then leave your hands there, and you're going to, like a sponge on your left glute, squeeze it, and your leg comes up. Like that. I don't want you bending at your knee. Really just lengthen. Keep your hip on the floor as well as much as you can. And then lower. And then do the other leg. So you squeeze your right glute, the left one's soft, and it makes your leg come up. All right, keeping your hips in the floor and your pubic bone into the floor keeps your pelvis even and aligned. And then try both legs. Breath in, lengthen. Exhale. Breathing in, lengthen, lift. Again, just double check your lower back isn't all contorted. And then see if you can do right arm, left leg lift. Lower. The other one. Lower. You off quadrants. Yeah, excellent. You can maybe do 2 on one side, 2 on the other. And then you can do everything, all of it. As you do that though, like as if you're lengthening your crown away from your toes, you might have to literally take your tailbone underneath your body. It's not extension we're trying for here, it's core strength. And you're all absolutely right to be looking at the floor, otherwise you get a crook neck. Okay, and then you can take one arm at a time, ahead of you there, breath, and go for a swing here. Breathe. Excellent. Brilliant. Breathe, continue to breathe. And then you can try going into a star shape. That's why we did the doggy wee one. And back to get you right glutes. The trick is to keep breathing, swimming. You literally imagine being somewhere really nice on a magic carpet or a, you like water, paddleboards, breathe, fly. Keep going. You're doing really well. Straighten your legs. Keep your hips on, get your quads off. Good. And then go into a start and fly, don't fly everywhere. Don't break your back. Should be fun. Relax. Okay. You're going to be going on your back, folks, for a nice stretch in your legs, ready to warm those up to finish on your glutes and your hamstrings. So you can just roll over. Make sure you've got your strong band. Oh, maybe do some pelvic tilts here. So harness yourself up with your really strong band. And if you've not got one of these, if you're doing it at home, you can literally just grab your shin. Or a belt, anything actually. Okay. So we isolate, stretch in your leg, not tension in your neck or your shoulders. And then if you fancy it, you can take your leg out to one side there. And it's really handy to draw your pelvic floor up as you draw that leg down. Wiggle your toes, feel the band underneath you. Arch. And breathe. Exhale, secure everything to get the leg back up. You can lengthen your supporting leg if you want to take your leg away from your body. Stretching your ITB band, breath. Bringing it back up. Swapping over, if you haven't already. So, you know, it's probably nice to just think about the tissues in your legs stretching before they massively contract. Breathe and just think, you know, this might have been a really painful one, so hopefully it's less so now. Securing the core, letting the leg wander down. Notice which tissues are lengthening here, inner thigh. And on your next exhale, draw it up and across your body. Feel your stretch. Obviously, this is different now, different tissues stretching. Notice that. It's really nourishing everything. That's really good, really straight knees, guys. I reckon they've got straighter over these weeks. No dog hound legs, Nibble used to say. Bring it back up. And unharness yourself there. We're going to just do a tiny warm up with a cushion. Just whack your cushion between your knees. Okay, your feet are cushion distance apart, feet on the floor. Okay, if you're actually keeping your bum on the floor, practice neutral spine, neutral pelvis, yeah, level hips and pubic bone. But you can go up into the bridge, soft shoulders. You can maneuver that, literally articulate it up into the bridge. And then squeeze your right knee towards your left, 2. And then left to right. All that lovely stretching now. contracting, and then both together. You're not squeezing your shoulders softly there, and a lovely air space between your ears and your shoulders, no tension in your neck. And then, have we done both together? That's about as far as my memory will stretch to, two breaths, and I've forgotten what I'm doing. And then hold both knees together for a couple of breaths. And then you can stay with the cushion, or you can swap it now for the ring. There. Squeeze the ring. Remember, the hoop needs to always be oval as much as you can for this. And then you can do it with your bum on the floor or into bridge. And you're going to do 5 or 6 right to left. Again, just remind your shoulders to soften. Your hips should be really level, but just get used to keeping them level for in a minute when we take a foot away. And then left to right. Methodical, like a machine. Like one of them lathes. Don't let the hoop do the work. Resist, be in control, be precise. And then go together like cymbals. Squeeze, you're not squeezing your neck out, you're nice and soft there. Isolate, learn isolation. It's just mindfulness. Taking your mind to a specific place in your body. You can put your palms to the floor, fingers to the floor, and just feel that support there from the ground, earth below. And then, okay, you can carry on with this. Well, let's just finish with a big squeeze. Okay, squeeze and breathe. It's not climbed up your spine, has it, to your neck? That's fine. Okay. Maybe you want to climb down if you're in the bridge. Articulate your spine down, hang on to the hoop, and then unhook. Obviously, you might want to keep going with this. But what I suggest you do, even if you can't do however many of the next sequence, do as much as you can, because they're just quite different muscles, you know. So now you're finding your heels under your knees. On your exhale, thrust back into your bridge. You're pressing down into your right heel, keeping your hips level. Levitate your left leg. All right, this is what I suggest we do, but remember it's just a playful guide. 5 toe taps. Again, soft shoulders. And then 5 on the same side or flick heel taps. You might want to do 5 toe taps on the other side first. Let's keep those hips level. Again, I'm not going to come round and be like, oh, your hips aren't level, because I know that you have to do an unlevel for a minute to adjust, endeavour to get your hips level. And then we're going to do the other leg. So bring both feet down, maybe do some pelvic tilts if you need a little press. Breath, push, thrust up. Push into your left heel, get your right leg into tabletop. Don't slow, give each plane of movement a really good chance to play. Do you know what I mean about your hips? You're in a really good advantage to see how level they are. Flex your feet. 4. So learn which muscles you have to micro engage on those to keep the right hip from dropping. Now your right leg's not underneath your knee.
I think we've done enough there. I'm coming down, and this is where you're really going to enjoy, maybe, extending your leg. Do a couple of pelvic tilts, breath. Exhale, thrust up, heel, right heel down. Get your left leg pointed into the sky. And you're pointing the toe, you can flex it halfway down. And I suggest a happy 10, but you know, just use your level hip to decide if it's definitely detrimental to your back. If you can't keep your form going, then maybe you're ready to swap already. So I reckon I'm halfway here. 5, I'm not going to keep doing numbers. Because I know you've got your own in your head. Feel that glute. You're going to do a knee drop in a minute to let it go off. Loads of oxygen. Well, whoops. Over leg. Have a break. Have a twiddle. That's enough. Thrust up, back. That's it. Enjoy your extended leg. Lower. You might have done both legs already. Well done. Good. You have. How many did you do? Did you? Oh, you must be slow. Good. So put your feet on the floor. Knees together, feet together. Okay. I'd take your palms a little bit outside yourself there. Breathe as you exhale, purse up the pelvic floor, draw your right knee to the floor. And I invite you to just notice your body. What's the heaviest bit of your body into the floor? Just make sure that dropped leg glute is soft. You might be light in your fingertips. You might be heavy in your head. Just feel the bend leg on the floor. Your footprint. Breath, secure your core to draw that leg up and draw the other one down. Okay, you really have to mindfully get your glute switched off. Okay, relax. Soft shoulders, maybe waggle your head from one side to the other. Have you managed to turn off that glute? Let the hip just open a little bit more. Draw up your pelvic floor in that leg, and then just for 3 breaths, I want you to just spread one foot into one corner of the mat, then the other one. Let your inner thighs roll out. Bring your palms to your body, knuckles to the floor. 3 breaths here. Notice your body rise as the air comes in. Notice the fall as the air escapes you. Can you feel proud? What makes you? What puts you together? That's a big exhale. What serves you well and what does not? Okay, you can roll up, or you can literally roll to the side and walk yourself up. If you're rolling up, just check your lower back goes into the mat. Ooh, well done. Peace, power, Pilates. Bring your palms together. Feel the warmth and power that's actually you. Happy voices, encouraging voices only.
Gosh, you have done amazing. You are amazing. Honestly, don't just say that. Namaste. Snug it into your chest bones. Just everything's fine. Feel. Breathe. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you at home, and you'll all see this again. See you again. Right. End.